Christian knocked and waited, but he heard nothing. He was afraid and worried. Maybe the king is not going to let me in because I strayed from the path. I'm filthy. My clothes are so ragged. He knocked again, and he called out, "Are you willing to let this poor pilgrim in?" At last Goodwill opened the door. "I am willing with all of my heart." Just then, several arrows flew through the air. Goodwill grabbed Christian by the shirt and pulled him inside the gate. Goodwill told Christian about the nearby castle set up by the evil Lord Beelzebub. He hates the king and all the little pilgrims, Goodwill said. He does all he can to stop them from entering the narrow gate. Christian heard a loud thud as more arrows hit the door where he'd been standing moments before. Goodwill showed Christian the straight and narrow path. "This is all the way to the celestial city. It's clear all the way there," he said. Christian saw the path and asked, "So I can't get lost?" "Well," said Goodwill, "the path is clear all the way, but many other paths cross it. But they're wide and crooked, and they will lead you the wrong way. The right path is obvious, but it isn't always the easiest." Christian asked Goodwill, "Where can I be freed from my burden?" His shoulders were terribly sore from carrying it. "Bear your burden a little longer," Goodwill said. "You must continue your journey until you come to the place of deliverance. Only there can your burden be removed. But first you must go to the house of the interpreter," Goodwill explained. "He will show you excellent, beautiful things to help you on your journey." "Welcome, little pilgrim," the interpreter said. "The king placed me here to prepare you for the many challenges you will face on your journey." They entered into a dirty, filthy room. Interpreter asked a man to sweep the room, which filled the room with dust, and Christian began to cough. Interpreter asked another helper to sprinkle the room with water. This made the dust settle to the floor, so it could be easily cleaned. "The dust is our sin," Interpreter said, "and the sweeping broom is like us trying to fix our sin by following all sorts of rules. The sprinkled water is like the king's mercy and grace, which is the only way to remove the dirt from our lives. It is not through our own efforts and work that we become clean, but only by trusting in the king to purify us." And in the next room, Christian saw two boys, Passion and Patience. They were getting gifts, but were told to wait 1 whole year before they could get them. And Passion couldn't sit still. "Give it to me now," he whined. "I don't want to wait." But Patience sat quietly. Passion finally got his gifts, but they were soon broken. Patience waited with a happy and cheerful heart, and the gifts he was given would never be broken. Interpreter explained, "Passion is like people who want everything right now, but patience is like those who trust the king and are willing to wait. Their reward will last forever and ever." Then Christian saw a fire, and a wicked man was pouring water onto it. But the fire would not go out. Behind the wall was a kind and gracious man who kept the fire burning with oil. "What does this mean?" said Christian. "The fire," said Interpreter, "is like the love pilgrims have for the king. And the man pouring water is like Lord Beelzebub, who always tries to hinder pilgrims. But the man behind the wall, pouring oil, is like the king's son, who's helping pilgrims on their journey." interpreter took Christian to one last room, which opened up to show a castle guarded by soldiers. Some people were afraid to enter, so they stayed back. But one man ran forward with all of his might, attacking the guards with his sword. And as he reached the palace gates, the angels above called out in their sweet, sweet voices, come in, eternal glory you shall win." Christian said, "I know the meaning of this. Many people want to enter the celestial city, but they fear what it might cost them, so they stand back. Only those who go in on faith and perseverance will arrive."